Are you the one who starts the best conversations on Facebook, WhatsApp, or in the group chat? If so, this is the podcast for you. Hi, I'm Eva.
And I'm Don, and welcome to Chat and Bother. This is a 15-minute podcast where we start conversations and you and your circle finish them. So go ahead and share this episode with a friend or family member so they can listen to it and you can talk about it together.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today we are going to record a few retractions. For the record, our very first episode was about breakfast. It was, when did you start making your own breakfast? And I'm going to let Don do this first retraction. You all probably remember I was very upset about the accusation, but we have since talked to our parents who have clarified some things after they listened to the podcast. Don?
All right. First, few apologies. One, to my mother, who I blamed in the episode for teaching me to become Don the Sugar Grit Wilson. And second, to my wife, who properly defended my mother and her character and said, no, that woman would not have done such a vile thing and taught you how to put sugar in your grits. So, sorry to two of my most favorite women in the world.
Fair enough. I knew she didn't do that. I knew she was a good person. She would never do such a thing. Never. Never. And she said that she saw her in-laws do that in Alabama. So she's seen it.
Right.
And was also confused by it.
Right.
So that's not her fault.
And
I don't know where you got it from, but it was not her. It was not that woman. She is a saint. She would never.
You sound like the lady from Living Color. Don't nobody ever say nothing bad about Miss Jenkins.
Don't talk about Miss Jenkins. She would never do such a thing. The next one, both of my parents have listened to the podcast. And my dad listened to it first. And he said that the whole horse thing was my mom's thing. Like that's what she wanted to do. He was not involved, right? But I had to, think about that because my mom does not build things. But this horse had a ring, like, the riding ring.
Right.
This horse had a split rail riding ring, which means that had to come from somewhere, right?
They both got something from him. She got the horse and he got a project.
Well, so there's that. So then we talked to my dad and he said that the horse had to go back because it got sick, because it did not have a horse house. I assume he means stable or shed or something of the sort. But his exact words were, it had no horse house. Okay? I talked to my mom after she listened to the podcast.
What'd she say?
And she said that the horse was my dad and my brother's project.
Oh.
She had nothing to do with it, which, again, I'm not crazy enough to say either one of them is lying. But my dad never took us to horseback riding lessons. I have never seen him show any interest in horses or animals of any sort.
Right.
But he did build that fence.
So
he
the
did
truth
build
is somewhere in between.
So now he also does not like poop. So he may just have been trying to contain the doo-doo. Since he is the one who would maintain the yard. So nobody wants to have scattered horse poo in various places. Also, I was told it was a pony, not a horse, which makes things so much stranger. I don't know why it makes it stranger, but it feels stranger now that it's a pony and not a horse. I just picture like some little girl with blonde hair and pigtails saying, Daddy, I want a pony. And they get a pony. But I know we were never that family where you could ask for brand name cereal
but was
or
it your brother
a
that
trapper
asked
keeper.
For it, or was it you?
See, that's the thing. Neither one of them said he asked for the horse. Like nobody said
so
that
nobody's
was
owning this thing.
Nobody's owning that whole horse/pony situation. So we still don't have, that's still a mystery. We still don't have a full answer on that. I think the last person to ask would be my brother. So maybe we could put together all three sides of the story. I know I wasn't involved. I was never mentioned in this story.
So we'll put that back in the Unsolved Mysteries file.
Right.
And we'll come back to that later once we get some more answers for you all.
Right. Right, because right now we don't know. The only thing we have solved is the mystery of the sugar grits. She did not do it. She is not the culprit.
She is not, when it comes to Donna Sugar Grit Wilson.
Yes, that is our true crime portion of the podcast. She did not
She is
do
not.
it. She is not guilty. She didn't do it.
My mom is not a sugar grit.
Right. Speaking of in-laws, in the mornings we tend to discuss those Am I the A-hole posts that are sometimes on Reddit, sometimes you'll see them on Facebook. But today I have one that I found pretty interesting. We've already discussed this one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read part of it. AITA for telling my son and his fiance I won't pay for the wedding if I can't invite some family members. My son and his fiance have recently gotten engaged. They were together for 4 years, and I have offered to pay for their wedding with 2 stipulations. One, that they use a wedding planner because it's essential due to the size of the event and the amount of money going into it, and that I have 8 people, older relatives that I'm close with, that I would like to invite. They agreed to the wedding planner, and they would look for one that they're comfortable with. But the fiance, the soon-to-be wife, does not want me to be able to invite anyone. My son knows the relatives very well. They're not super close, and the fiance has met them a few times. The wedding is going to have between 300 and 400 guests, and the budget is $150,000. My son doesn't care, but the fiance is uncomfortable, and her family, who they're not contributing financially, also believe that I should not be able to invite anyone to the wedding. The 8 people are my aunts and uncles, and they helped me a lot with the kids. I was in a severe car accident. We don't come from money. I am paralyzed from the waist down in the lawsuit money. I invested, and the returns have been lucrative. So without their help watching the kids and financially, I would have been in a lot of trouble when my kids were younger. So, Don, is he wrong for wanting to invite his 8 family members?
All right, I'm going to need you to beep this out.
No, you're not going to beep anything out. No, okay. So
the man is spot on.
Okay.
First off, why do you need 400 people at your wedding?
I don't know. If he can't invite 8 people, if he can't invite 8 people out of 400, I think that's really the bigger issue.
So let's do some math real quick.
Who knows 400 people?
But let's do some math real quick. The total budget is $150,000.
Right.
He said he would pay $100?
No, he's paying the entire thing.
Okay. So
he's paying the whole thing. His son and his fiance don't have to pay anything. Mm-hmm. And the wife's family, the soon-to-be wife's family who's complaining, they also are not contributing anything.
All right, so some math real quick. 400 people.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to give 8 people seats at this place.
Yes.
That's 2%.
Okay.
But he wants to pay 100%.
He's fine with giving them the money and all of that.
I mean, why doesn't he just pay for the people that he wants to come and...
Because that's not what it's about. They don't want him to invite those particular people. And it doesn't sound like they have any problem with these people personally. They just don't want him to... And I'm going to say they, but it's not the son. The son said he doesn't care.
But that's 392 people you can invite.
I don't know 392 people well enough to feed them. I mean...
Especially not a grand gala-style plate.
Yeah, not no real plate. I might give you some gum. If I'm thinking about the number of people that I know well enough to spend... No, I don't know anyone.
That's a handsome portion of food for $150,000. That's a lot.
No, I mean, it's not a ton of money. If you're inviting 300 people, you have... Now, then you need a venue that holds 300 people. You need a DJ. If it's that many people, clearly this dress is not about to be cheap. So it's chicken. It's going to be a chicken. Weddings are expensive now. You're looking at me like I'm crazy. Weddings are very expensive now. Our wedding was cheap.
But because we limited the number of people.
Not really. They got lost. Remember
but we capped it at like 100 people, right?
No, it was like 125 people. It might have been 125, something like that. It was at least 125. We asked,
but our wedding was frugal because we're frugal people.
And that also was not the hill we were going to die on. That invitation list was not, because I don't know enough people to care. The people that I knew were in my wedding party.
Right.
And then like maybe 20 people out of 120 people. I didn't have a lot of people. So if my parents said, hey, we want to invite 8 people, okay, that is not huge on my side.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but to spend $150,000 on a day, the wedding itself is just a thing.
So you're just upset. You don't care about these 8 people. These 8 people can kick rocks. Your main problem is that this person is about to give these people $150,000 to spend on one day. Is that what because it seems like you ain't said nothing about these 8 people since.
I love watching that show, The Prophet. One thing he says all the time is, you take my money, it means I'm 100% in charge. He paying for 100% of this wedding. You better believe I will take up 80 seats. I will take up 80% of the audience.
See, that's why this can never happen with us.
What?
You can't do that. That's a gift. If you're giving a gift to somebody,
yeah, but
they get to decide what they're going to do with it. Would it be nice?
My gift comes with input.
Well, would it? Well, and he did give the stipulation, so he very well can say no and let the cheap in-laws do it themselves, the ones with all the mouth.
Right.
That's what I would do. If I said I'll give you $150,000 with these conditions. Now, I wouldn't put conditions on it. I would just make sure my people came and dare you to say something.
Right.
But since the conditions are there, I don't see why people are upset about it. Unless these people have are they felons? And even then, set them at their own table. I don't know.
He gave them conditions. They didn't meet the conditions, so take the money back.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I'm not paying. If you don't meet my conditions, I'm not paying. I would offer, but I absolutely would not pay for anybody.
Right.
Not for 392 people. I'm not paying for anything.
Oh, and please believe, I'm making a list of who had the mouth on the other side.
Oh, come on.
What?
No, it's not worth it because that marriage ain't gonna last that long anyway.
This is true.
I give it a year and a half. If she's mad about 8 people, I give it a year and a half.
Right, because she's getting 392 people paid for it, and she still got a
worried
problem.
about them 8. That's going to be a long year and a half before they get divorced. And with that, I got to go to work.
And I got to go to work.
So we will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us for Chat and Bother. Go ahead and like our Facebook page and share this episode with people that you want to chat with or just feel like bothering, or both. Visit our website, chatandbother.com, for our episode guide and other ways to connect with us. Take care.